Hey all, we are just gonna wait a few minutes for everyone to join, then we're gonna start a live free introduction webinar part 2. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Just type say hello when you're here so I know, and we'll start soon. Okay, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. If you can't, let me know. And you can change the quality of the video. You can look below and change to HD. So let me know if all is good, and we're gonna start. Hey, good to have you here, Sheen. I talked to you on Skype. Yes, that's correct. I just took a trade here while I was setting up everything. I just saw it on the on my graphs here on the charts of EURUSD. See the simple trend line. I saw it coming down. I was just waiting for it. I triggered it here. My short expired only 5 minutes. I'm going to talk about that soon. No indicators, nothing specific, just a simple line, simple bounce there. But we will talk about this shortly. It just expired about not even 10 minutes ago. So let's see. If you are ready, we can start. Okay, so let me bring up, as usual, I do some introduction about who we are because not everyone is familiar with us. So it's good for them to learn where to find us, where to find more info. So binaryoptions.sock.com is the main page. So when we say bots, we mean binaryoptions.sock.com. And so I'm going to introduce you to our community of traders. Community Traders is the name, the forum that you find here. You will find many many great traders, from beginners to experienced pros, and there are many shared strategies, indicators, reviews, exposed scams, and also a demo platform up here. If you go and click trade, you can click the tour if you don't know how to use it. So click the trade, and I've also made some videos explaining how to use the trading platform. So that's good to get started with if you're a beginner and you need a demo and you need something to try out on. And moving on back to the main site, as I said, binaryoptions.stock.com. You will find many articles here about various subjects like news from regulators, new strategy reviews, scams being exposed, and also many broker reviews. And if you're a beginner looking to get started, obviously you need a nice and safe platform. And you can read about our recommended brokers. These are the ones here. You can visit or read the reviews, because it's important to know which ones you can rely on, and the recommended ones are usually the ones people use. Most of the people use them in our forum here. Now you can also discuss with other traders what they use. You can check their trading diaries, you can follow their progress. And this is personally my favorite room, because you can see how they go from being an absolute beginner to an advanced trader, a solid trader. So keep an eye on these places, the forum and the website. Now, so far so good. We're gonna move on. I know the ones who are watching right now sorry, are familiar with the website, so let's move on and look at a couple of binary options brokers platforms, and let's talk about the differences between broker platforms and charts, because I've seen many beginners ask that in the forum. They don't understand the difference. So if we look at a few platforms, starting with the 24 option, just changed their platform. They used to be Tech Financials, so as you can see, they just updated. Looks really fresh. You have the high and low, and you can select what kind of assets you want to trade. I have Forex selected here, and you simply select the asset, you select the expiry that you want. So the expiries are the same as before if you are familiar with 24 options, so nothing changed except the layout for you. So you got the expiries. I think they have the best expiries. I myself trade on 24 option, and you select the amount, high or low. So pretty simple, and you have the charts here as well. And if we move on to another broker, Stockper, they have also their own customized, so you can see there's some kind of difference between the brokers' platforms. Not everyone looks the same. So here you have Stockper. You can select up and down the arrows here, and different expiries. You can see it's not every 5 minutes, but a longer expiry after the 10 minutes. After the 15, it's a longer expiries. So the Stockper is better for longer expiries. So every broker platform has their own unique stuff. Here is a ARX demo. As you can see, it's you can select candle charts here, and the demo is great. You don't need to sign in. You can just come to ARX and go to demo and start. I just actually took a trade here. I'm going to explain that trade later. Call on EURUSD. I took a 5-minute call. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same. Short term, high, low. Here, this platform is better for short term, because as you can see, expiries are a little bit wider in range. You have 15 minutes every 15 minutes, and not that much more. So this platform is better for short term traders. So for 5 minutes, from 30 seconds to 5 minutes is pretty good. So you select an asset, as you can see here. So it pretty much looks like any other platform. Once you have learned one of them, how to use one platform, you can know how to use the others as well. So it's just the layout that's a little bit different. But also, the perks and the futures themselves. So you have to be very careful when you select a broker. You want to know exactly what do you need. So I'm not usually trading in this range. So for me, 24 option is good. I have lots of expiries here for intraday trading. Someone else, if they trade in this range, this platform, I think Erix is fast and good. If you trade long term, Stockberry is good with long term, has higher payouts on the long term trades. So everything based on what you need. And moving on again to the next thing, which is that hey, most brokers have charts. Why do I need the MetaTrader or a charting software? Why is everyone talking about charts? Because obviously you need to do some technical analysis. You need to have maybe some indicators that you like to use, like in this case I have the stochastic and the EMA, and you can set up your charts as you like. And also it's an independent third-party verification of the broker's quotes, the price that you see on the broker's platform. So as you can see, it's pretty much similar to mine. So this is acceptable difference. It's like 2 pips right now, so very, very good. If your difference is too high, then you might want to switch the broker that you're connected to. Most people like to use MetaTrader, but there are other charts like Netdania, Thinkorswim, and such. I see more people joined. Hey guys, good to have you. So for now, we've been just briefly introducing BinaryOptions.Stock.com and Community Traders before we move on into more detailed stuff. Good to have you. And don't forget to change to HD quality if you can't see clearly what I'm showing. So as I was saying, it's always good to have a chart and make sure your difference in quotes in the price is not too much. You can see here it's really close. It's a bit inside half a pip, sorry. So it's really good. And again, as I said, if it's not, you want to connect to another demo account for your MetaTrader, so you don't have to pay to have a chart. Yeah, if you have any questions, type me. The guys who are watching live. If you're not watching live, you're watching this offline, you can type in the comment section below or come to Community Traders Forum and ask us questions there. We'll put some links below in the description. So moving on, guys, we talked about the platforms and why it's important to have charts, because you want to do technical analysis. So that's what takes us to the next area. That's about why do traders and their strategies fail. I meet lots of people asking for what strategy should I use. By the way, before we move on, while we are seeing this live, you can see here I drew a line. If this line fails here, if it breaks, most likely price will retrace back to the support. If not, it will continue, but we have a strong resistance in this area. You can see the big drop here. So and right now it made us several attempts here. Here I took a call option as well. I'm going to show you that soon. So be very careful. If this breaks, it's going to move down. So as I was saying, why do traders and their strategies fail? Because their approach might be mechanical, because a strategy is usually mechanical, and if you're an inexperienced trader who pick up a strategy, you're going to have the mechanical approach, because you don't understand the indicators involved, you don't have any money management, you have no patience, you have no experience. So that's why your strategy might fail. And you might switch between strategies all the time and still not learn anything, because you're not focusing on the right things. You don't even understand the problem. So technical analysis, this is where things get interesting, because that's when you start to actually make money, when you understand technical analysis. And that's how your trading improves. And I get a question about Forex. Right now I'm mainly focused on binary options. I am looking into widening my investments. So right now it's only binary options, yes. Any other questions for now? Okay, so looking at the chart here, I'm gonna just show you that trade I took again. Here I placed it on the ARX demo as well. Here it is, the entry you can see here, and the expiry. So only a 5-minute trade, pretty quick bounce. I was just preparing, I was just going to start the webinar here when I saw this. So all I did was to place this line here, that's it. It's a simple line, placed it here, and the candle entry was here. Okay, so very simple trade, no indicators, simple line and the candlesticks. Why? Because it was simple, seeing how price was climbing, and it reached the target up here, and then second attempt, and then it tried to make a third attempt as well. So it seems that it failed. So for now I would not take another call option because I would like this level to break for the continuation. So if this level happens to break now because the resistance is holding, price is going to come back down. That's why I don't want to take a trade now, because price tested this level so many times. We cannot be sure that it's going to test it again, but if it does and then it breaks, it might give us another higher low in this region. When it becomes support, that will be a better target for entering another trade. So as we were talking about technical analysis, so that's what I mean by technical analysis, because when you don't rely on just indicators, so as you can see in this case the EMA was kind of far away. I mean, sure, it indicates the uptrend is strong, and stochastic in this case was not completely oversold, so it had not much to do with any indicators. Let's see what you have for questions. Okay, I got a question about support resistance lines, and do you mean how long back, or do you mean how recently placed lines? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. If you mean this line here, this is pretty good because I actually didn't place it as support, I placed it as resistance today when I shared with some of you who are following me live. I shared this target as a potential opportunity for taking a put option when price was climbing already here in this somewhere in this region. I shared this line. As you can see, it came up there, and this line later became support. You can see how it's support here, and then it climbed up. This time it didn't come back completely, which is understandable because it was following the trend line instead. So that's why I took this trade, because I had a pretty good history, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and right now it's still holding, so this might actually continue up. It's fully possible, although we are really close to this resistance. So it's possible to take a trade on this, but be careful again. You want to wait and see if this resistance breaks. This one was the second attempt here, was pretty good, but as you can see, it quickly turned down. That's why I only took a 5-minute trade. I wasn't sure if it was gonna continue up. because the target here was so close. When you enter here and you see that it's just the resistance, the heavy resistance is just here, you don't want to go for a too long expiry. So that's the reason for why I took such a short call option here, because this was what I was worried about, coming back down again, the fall. So it raced back to the line. Okay, I get a question about how long do I look back. Well, it's different from case to case. I mean, usually here we have lots of candles, so I don't need to go back too much. And you can see that on the 15-minute time frame, we got one top, two, lots of volume here, so you can place your line there. So you don't always have to go too long. It also depends on which time frame you look at when you place your lines. And I got a question about trend line. Well, as you can see, here's the example of a good trend line. You have a few bounces, and then you adjust it, and you can see I already entered here on the low of this candle, which closed up here. So my trade was within this candle. So there is no perfect trend line, but this is as close as you get to a proper trend line. You got a few bounces, and you can see it's a mix between the candles, how they touch it exactly. Here is the candle wick, here is not. So this is how you do it. So let's take some questions. Anyone who's really new, who's not familiar with binary options at SOC.com or Community Traders, and who's just getting started, or is everyone already trading? So feel free to add. I see some new people joined. Say hi in the chat, and waiting to hear if everyone is from Community Traders, or are you new to this channel and Community Traders? Let me know in the chat. And if you have any questions, also share in the live chat. Okay, no questions. Then I'm gonna do a quick recap for the ones who joined, and then before I do that, I can tell you about this area. It's good to keep an eye on this triangle here inside the two lines. We'll keep an eye on that, and if it breaks out, it might move up. I get a request about the Aussie, which is doing pretty much the same thing. It came up to a strong resistance, which you can see here. Pretty clear, right? A big drop. So we can adjust our line to the recent price here, and we can see, so it hit resistance. Could it continue? It's possible. Yeah, it looks like it's getting support here. So yeah, you could see continuation here. You might get a few more candles before it gets up. We have this large candle, you might want to wait for it to close. But as you can see, it's already getting support. So yeah, this could be good for a call option on the Aussie. Even long term, you can see that seems to be holding above the trend line here. So it looks like we have some support here. I hope that makes sense. So we might see another continuation taking place here as well. So that was the Aussie. And as I said, keep an eye on your USD, this target here, this triangle. If it breaks up, you're gonna have a breakout and continuation. So my upper target is actually up here. After this one breaks, you might see price coming up here, maybe even slightly further below. So in this area, it's the next one. So you can trade towards that target later on, but getting on leveraged areas like higher lows. So I'm not going to make this video too much advanced. We already did it a little bit more advanced than usual this time, but it's okay since many of you are already familiar with community traders and bots, so that's okay. But we'll do more webinars in the future, more advanced webinars as well, where we only talk about charting. So quick recap, we talked about binaryoptions.stock.com. Go ahead, check out some news articles and learn about which brokers you can that we use ourselves in the forum, the members, and also the school. Go through the school if you're a beginner. You're gonna learn a lot of your questions that you already have, I'm sure, are answered here. And then you have the forum, go to trading diaries, check out other people, try out our demo account. It's free, you just need to sign in and participate in discussions. So let's see, is there another? Okay, I get a question about, is there a good resource to learn price action and technical analysis from? And how did I learn all these things? Great questions. Where did I learn it? First, I learned from the charts. I just kept looking at the charts, trying different strategies, and then I realized I don't feel safe relying on strategies because I don't know what's happening. Why would I just jump into a call because the strategy rules say so? So that was the mechanical trading approach that I mentioned before. That's why most traders fail. So I realized I just have to understand what the charts are doing, where it's going, just like we discussed right now, where it's going likely, and trend lines, support lines, to understand support and resistance and such movements in the market. And so it took a long time for me to learn. I didn't have anyone who could teach me one-on-one. And to your other question, where to learn, I would say, well, our YouTube channel is really good. Look at the price action playlist, and it's going to take you some time. And also, I am a good source, obviously. You can talk to me on Skype for more direct help. And also our forum, you can create your own trading diary, trial and error. That's one way. I know it sounds harsh that way, but that's one way. Trial and error, if you do it on demo, it will be free. It won't cost you anything, but eventually you're gonna have to go live, so you really want to know that you know everything, all the techniques, advanced techniques, so you gotta spend some time. This isn't something you learn in a day. So thank you all. I think I hope you learned something, and again, we'll put some links below for the people who are new, who are not familiar with us, so you can follow us. Thanks for joining, guys. Talk to you in the forums.